Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Out on the Ranch with Dr. Lee. It has been a really weird week this week. We started off with a solar eclipse on Monday, and we're ending the week today on Friday with a hurricane. We're about 180 miles from the coast, so we're going to get quite a bit of weather here near San Antonio. Should be a lot of rain. People say anywhere from 6 to 8 inches, and the wind, which you can tell is already beginning to gust pretty hard, is supposed to be up around 40 to 50 mile an hour on a lot of the gust, and honestly, that's just a guess. They really don't know. So there's things out on the ranch you have to do to get ready for weather like this. One of them in particular, if you remember, I have game cameras down on the creek, and there's a real good chance if we get 6 to 8 inches of rain, our creek will raise 6 to 8 feet and my game cameras will be underwater. You can see back over there, there's a dam that goes across the creek. I'll show you the other side to it in just a minute. As you can tell, the water is not going over the dam right now. We've seen this thing from storms such as what we possibly could have go from this to having this entire area full of water back here. It's really, really scary, and it happens very, very fast. It's kind of the way it is in Texas. We don't get those nice slow rains that soak in and you just get the perfect amount of rain. We always tend to get our rains in violent thunderstorms and get a heck of a lot of it all at one time. But anyway, we've got a lot of stuff to do on the ranch. I've got to go around and get all the equipment, get it under shelter. I also have to go get the generator ready, because if we lose power out here, it's commonly hours before it gets fixed. We are the last ones on the end of the electric lines out here, and anytime there's a storm, especially like the storms we're expecting here, the repair trucks could be out repairing many outages, and it could be forever before we get them out here on the ranch to take care of just one little house at the end of the line. So it's always good to have a generator. So I need to go make sure, one, it will start, and two, it's full of fuel, and I have plenty of fuel left for it too, as well as getting the rest of the equipment all up and gathered. Anyway, I'll keep you posted and show you some videos as this storm progresses. We'll see how bad it gets. This is a better view of the dam right now, and we have seen water come over it like crazy before. You can tell it looks like it's a few feet lower on the other side of the dam. I'll drive the truck around to the other side and we'll see exactly what it looks like, and we'll compare that to what happens the next few days. And there's the dam. This is the other side of it. It looks like it's about a foot, maybe a foot and a half from running over. Pretty little creek, always full of bass, catfish, water moccasins. We'll see what happens during this storm. And right there's the first of the storm clouds you can see coming in over the ranch. Gonna be a wet weekend. Okay, we're gonna run down to the creek now, see if we can get, I've got 2 feeders down there at the creek. One of them is really low on the creek. As far as the level of the creek's concerned, it's probably only about 4 feet above the creek level. And if we get 5 or 6 inches or more of rain, that baby's going to get submerged, and that is not a good thing. I've got another one down here too, and I'm going to take it completely out of the creek and we'll go relocate it. The video cameras that we have down on the creek are really the most exciting ones. They pick up more stuff, I guess just because the animals naturally tend to gravitate to the water, especially this time of year when it's so dang hot outside. But anyway, the creek is right down there. You can see the drop off. So we're going to go down to the creek now. I'm going to take the other game camera that's down there and move it. Again, it's low, it's down on the water. And we've been down here before. And I brought you down here before, and if you remember, this is not a place that you go unarmed. There's a lot of hogs that live down here, and they commonly have a lot of babies with them. And a mama hog with babies ask no questions, they just act. So anyway, we're gonna take this little guy along with us. I don't know if you guys have seen these yet. This is a rifle Matt gave me, and he gave his brothers and sisters and his in-laws these rifles too. You can see the Demolition Ranch written on the side of it. And because it's Matt, Not only is it one of the most wicked rifles in the world, but it's also got a kitty on it. See the little kitty right there? Strange dude, but you gotta love him. So anyway, we're gonna run down there and get that camera and move it, put a new SD card in it, and hope and pray that we see no hogs down there, because those mamas they're pretty ugly, they're pretty darn mean, and they're faster than I am. So anyway, I'm gonna pull you down off that tripod. We'll see what we got going on down at the creek. Intentionally make a lot of noise while I'm coming through here, so hopefully if there is a mama hog, I will scare her away long before we surprise her. Got to be watching for snakes in here too. Plenty of those around. Lots of poison ivy. Just a great place to be. And while we're here, there's the game camera right there on that little tree. See it right there? We'll come back and get it in just a minute. While we're here, I'll show you the creek. Showed it to you before. This is a cool little crossing. All the hogs and deer like to cross right here because the water's shallow and the trails just come to a natural merging point right here. Been some raccoons in here overnight. Grass is all knocked down right in here. So you can see right there, the creek narrows down to where it's only about 3 or 4 feet wide. And if that hurricane brings us a lot of rain, I'll bring this thing back down here. We'll see exactly how wide it is after the hurricane. Winds are picking up. We're down in a deep area right now, but I can really hear the winds above us. So that hurricane is on its way. Okay, let's go get this camera down. Been somebody rooting in here. Looks like some hogs rooting in here. Should have some good footage on this camera. We'll change the SD cards out. We'll see what's on it too. I'll try to post whatever, if there's anything good on this SD card, I'll post it on this video. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, back to the house. Kind of show you the sky right now. Sky's getting a bit freaky looking. Yeah, actually everything's kind of freaky. You know, it's kind of like spider webs on my face. It's kind of like last Monday during the eclipse. We were all outside and we only got about a 70% eclipse here. So it just got dark. It kind of cooled down a little bit. It almost felt like the winds died down to absolutely nothing. And then the darkness came in, and it, like I said, it wasn't really that dark, but it's like all the colors they just lost their heart. They just faded into an ugly grayish sheen. And I mean, they were still green and they were still brown and the skies were still blue, but they were not quite as robust. And there was just a weird feeling, almost an ominous type feeling. And that's what this feels like right now. And I don't know if it's barometric pressure changes. I don't know if it's the freaky color of the sky, or if it's a psychological thing where we know we're about to get our butt kicked by Mother Nature, and it may be a whole lot of nothing, but it could be a terrible thing. So just kind of a weird, uncomfortable feeling, especially for a parent. You know, we got our kids all over the place. Matt's flying back from Detroit today. You know, Mark and Jackie are in the middle of a move coming down here. You know, Allie's just now starting school, and so my kids are all out of pocket. They're all in all different places, so that makes it hard on an old guy. But anyway, just a weird day. Been a weird week. Everything's odd. Hopefully this storm will die down and not do a whole lot of damage, and we'll get back to life as normal next week. But for now, let's get out of this creek, get back up on top of the ridge. Okay, here we go. Yep, I'm gonna have to buy me one of those Osmos. Probably shaking you guys like crazy. What you guys can't see is I've got my tripod fully extended, so I'm dragging it through all this high grass. Sorry, not the greatest videographer here, folks. All right, this ought to be a little bit smoother sailing out through here. The deer and the hogs love this trail, man. They run through here all the time. And now for the climb. Not too bad. A lot of y'all gave me some nice comments last time I was coming up this, and I said, I can feel those old knees barking. And everybody else said, yep, buddy, we've been down that road too. Okay. We are back. We're going to put this game camera just about head height for most deer. That usually works pretty well for getting good videos. Those cameras work on movement. They shoot out an infrared beam, and anything that moves, it triggers the camera to come on. That's why I just knocked all those little brushes down, because when the wind's blowing those brushes, it will trigger the camera to take a video. I've got millions and millions of footage of brush moving. Very exciting. All right, back to the house. We'll see if we can get the generator going. Well, let's see what we've got here. We have absolutely zero fuel. Alrighty. Well, this is exactly why we check these things before the emergency. It's never fun to try to figure all this stuff out when all the power's out and everybody's half scared and it's raining like crazy outside. Don't ask me how I know that. Okay, that'll be enough to get us started right there. Okay, we've got spark, we've got fuel. So we need to get this out of the way because it can make fire. Don't ask me how I know that either. Shoot. Well, as you can see, that did not go well. Guess why it doesn't have any fuel in it? For some reason, the little spout that comes out of the bottom to the fuel line is broken. So let me get this thing out of here before I set the place on fire. Okay, I got it out here. So this time we will just have to pray our power does not go out. You can see where that thing's broken up in there. This little doodad right here should go up inside the tank. That's the cutoff valve. It should go up inside the tank, and it does not. It got broken off somehow. It's amazing how things can just sit in your shop and just break all by themselves. I've only got one bay left in the barn and in the shop, so I can either put my sprayer, this is an agricultural sprayer mounted on a trailer here, I can either put it in there or put our old buddy in there. So you know who's going in the barn. Well, it's hard to look at that without using the cuss word, but I will refrain. Well, that was very disappointing. I was really wanting to get that thing running and show you how well it ran, because it sat out here in the shop for a few years without running at all. And my son Mark, who a lot of you guys follow on YouTube, his channels are Homemade Every Day and Homemade Everything. H-E, Homemade Everything. If you watch Mark, you watched him repair this thing for me, and man, it ran like a champ. So sorry Mark, looks like you got your work cut out for you. Next time you come home, I'll let you fix it again. Well folks, the skies are getting darker and I'm getting hotter and sweatier. It's time to go in and take a shower, get out of whatever's coming. Everybody tell Luther not not. Everybody tell Luther not not. Luther, we'll see you in the morning. I hope Harvey treats him well. Before we cut this off, here's a view of the skies. I don't know how well this camera's going to pick it up, but man, it's getting kind of scary looking out here. Nothing like a good old hurricane. Here's another view. That just kind of makes you feel like you're about to get your butt kicked, doesn't it? Angry looking skies coming in before the hurricane. Well folks, I'm going to go ahead and end this video for tonight. While I was editing all the clips up until this particular one, we got a lot of rain already. Like you saw, the skies already were looking pretty ominous, and they dumped on us and hit us with some pretty hard winds as well. That's pretty consistent for the way hurricane rains work. They come in bands, they come in waves, and that was probably the first wave of many to come over the next 3 or 4 days. For those of you that are down on the coast in harm's way, we'll be praying for you. I hope the best. Take shelter if you can get out of there, unless it's too late, and if not, then just hunker down, and good luck to you, buddies. I hope you guys do okay. For the rest of you, keep all those people in harm's way in your prayers, and hopefully things will turn out great for them. I'll come back with a few videos, maybe a little daily video, nothing nearly as long and as boring as this one today. But I think what I'll do is come back with just some updates daily, kind of let you know what's been going on, and I'll try to get some videos of some interesting stuff. So thanks a lot for dropping by on Out on the Ranch with Dr. Lee. I appreciate you guys stopping by to say hi. And as always, please remember, I love your wonderful comments. Thanks a lot for being my friend. I appreciate you guys. Remember, I love you, and we will see you tomorrow. So what you doing there, Al?
Neutering a dog, Dad.
All right. Who's gonna learn you?
That's a mistake.